tiny... Oh, why am I not moving? Hold on. Ah, oh, wait. Ah, there we go. Wait, hold on. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm fine. Good tidings, villagers. This is your Captain Wilhelmina Frost of the Stellian Royal Guard, Legendary Knight of phaseconnect this generation. Saga. This isn't morning Mina voice. I've been up for like 5 hours. Sorry if my voice isn't as nice as you expected it to be. I have definitely been up, and I should not have morning voice because it's almost halfway through the day, and I've been up for like 5 hours, so... I think it's early, like the early thing is that, yeah, I do wake up early, actually. Did you know that Estelia is one of the earliest waking places in all of the dimensions? So, yeah, sorry that I don't sound as nice as you expected me to. How do I like the new outfits? They're very cool. I just messaged the others in like the phase, like the staff Discord to be like, Origins, you all look so cool. I think it's such a fun theme though, actually. Like I think it's such a fun theme that Origins has, and so I've been really enjoying all of their outfits so far. Yeah. Now I'm all self-conscious. I'm like, wait, what's wrong with my voice? Do I not sound like, do I sound like croaky or wrong? I shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe it's because I had milk this morning. That might be why. Oh god, I had a coffee. Oh, that might be why. Oh, I'm self-conscious now. Sound like Mina, but softer. What? What is the... Like, I don't feel like I sound any different. What's wrong? Oh god. Now I'm wondering what's so different about... I'm being one guide, yeah. Yeah, don't let the voices get to me. Be gone, brainworms. Now I'm too self-conscious. I'm wondering, like, why do I sound so different? Do I sound different? Am I different? I'm concerned that, yeah, concerned that I think, that you think that I've started smoking. Pack a day. Camnot Origin, thank you so much for conscripting an unwilling villager over on YouTube. I do appreciate it. They're being taken to barracks right now and being told that their voice sounds weird. Rat Knight, thank you so much for the Frost, for 5 months of Frost Guardianship. So as a corrupt knight out for the future possibility. Considering that I am uncorruptible, I don't think so. Like, surely I'm like the least corruptible person to ever exist. I'm so uncorruptible. I lack the ability to be corrupted. I am a paragon of virtue. And the epitome of what a legendary, a lawful good knight should be. So, yeah, I don't think I could be. I just think it's impossible. Which sin is Willy? All of them at the same time. All of them in equal measure. Captain, you ate human flesh yesterday. Oh, but I had to. It's RimWorld, different rules over there. JK, thank you so much for the tip over in Stream Elements. Good tidings, Captain. I'm here observing Short Saturday. Yeah, Short Saturday. It's a very you gotta get them gams out. Get your gams out. Saturday. Show off your shins Saturday. That's it. Pride, but our legendary knight captain is always so humble. Yes, and beautiful. but yeah, so Asian Vidid, thank you so much for the super chat. Which sin is Willy? Probably all of them, but probably mostly pride. I'd say probably pride. Probably pride. Surely, right? I don't know. Yeah, I actually don't think... What's the other ones? Sloth? Well, sometimes I can be really sleepy. Does that count? Buffoonery. Yeah, buffoonery is also one of them, I think. Actually, I should, as I have been watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I should be very familiar with all of the 7 deadly sins, right? Yeah, wrath, envy, greed, sloth, lust, gluttony. Greed, pride. Captain, you're the least slothful person on the planet. It's because I work. It's because I work quite often. Oh, there was despair and treachery. Wait, how is despair a sin? Can't you despair? Those are people who like wallow in despair, who take almost take pleasure in despair. Is that it? And treachery. I mean, there's only so many times you can betray someone, right? Well, I just have a real. Oh, I just love being treacherous. It's not like you can do it all the time. It's not like I can really indulge in that sin much. Like, you have to have someone to betray. I feel like you've got to... And then that requires gaining someone's trust in order to be treacherous, correct? It just feels like treachery is kind of a hard one to keep fulfilling. You make friends only so you can betray them later. How horrible! That's so much effort as well. If you already go through all the trouble to befriend someone, then why would you be treacherous? Like, you've already gone through all the effort. You've done the hard part of becoming friends. What's the gain in then betraying them? That's horrible. It's a slow burn, but the payoff is huge. Sounds like a real treachery enjoyer. Oh, if Saga gets themed outfits, Dr. Paul Ekman's 6 basic emotions are happiness, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, and disgust. Oh, wait, so we're becoming like... I've never seen the movie, but we're becoming like Inside Out. Oh, which one would... Who would be what? I can be both happy and sad, Mina. I'm happy, Mina. I'm sad, Mina. I'm like the you know, those drama, the old dramatic, tragic drama figures with like the happy mask and the sad mask. That's me. Yeah, I think I'm remarkably sanguine today, full of blood. Bibi is happy and normal. She's so normal about things. I would be disgusted looking down the villagers and their filthy habits. Oh, just because it's your... Is it? It's just the... Maybe it's just the villagers' fetish to be looked upon with disgust. A sandwich. Oh man, I'm subsisting off coffee today. You're like, no, it's not! No! Oh, you give me the 7 Satanist sins instead. Pretentiousness, oh, that's me. Solipsism, self-deceit, conformity, ignorance, forgetfulness of past orthodoxies, lack of aesthetics, and pride. Oh god, I'm so many of those. Why am I such a flawed human? Why am I such a flawed human? Why do I look at that and be like, why are you calling me out? How dare you? Colberg's 6 stages of moral development: obedience, punishment. Oh, I did that with the Bibi stream. Self-interest, conformity, authority, social contract, and universal ethical principles. Stop calling me out. Actually, no, maybe we could do that. Like, I could be, because I'm the captain, I could be authority, right? I could be quite the authority. Will we ever have another Dumb Mina stream? I mean, I think you can, considering that that stream was even held on Bibi's channel, you can probably see my own stance on that. I don't want to be known as the dommy mummy of Saga. Because I can't live up to it. Look, I can't. I can put on just like the tragic, the happy and sad face masks of the dramatique. I can only put on the mask for so long. I can't make it my whole brand. Like I can put on a mask for a little bit, but I can't sit comfortably with it forever. So that's why, I don't know, I think I can only keep it on for short periods of time. But what if we asked, what if we said please? Another day, another YouTube start. Here we go. There you go, YouTube. How's that feel? You're feeling whole again? If I've done all the masks, you can rotate through them again. Yes. They'll just be like, you can't see it, it's slightly off screen, but there's a room filled with masks that I don. Just full of them, you know. But what if we said please lots of times, really pleadingly? I think I might get up that title without trying. I think I don't. Is it because I have a sword? Is it because I'm a beautiful lady knight? God, I can't help being such a beautiful lady knight. Gosh. Yeah, it's remarkable how many things are just off screen. So I really should change the camera up, but I just can't. Yeah, she says the rest of the masks. It's the classism. It is the classism. I mean, you come to the stream and know that you're speaking to you better, so. Oh, I hate myself. Sorry. Oh god, I'm insufferable. At least I'm self-aware. Mr. Plow, thank you so much for super chat. Needing to smoke a isn't it a Marlboro, not a Jalboro, or is that like is that one that Jelly's made? Or after watching Urika's outfit reveal is totally understandable. Actually, Urika's was quite spicy, wasn't it? Like her outfit is a bit like I want to like, it was a bit like, and then I wanted to try and like really open my eyes wide, but I'm not sure if I'm able to convey that. Phil Legacy, thank you so much for 7 months for his guardianship. Is our captain a legendary knight of sin? I'll still follow you, captain. Still better than being a mage. I'm not like fully sinful. I don't think. I feel like I've got the normal amount of flaws that Paragon of Virtue should contain. Just the normal amount, which is not many. Because legendary, but. Yeah, we're the virtue. Do you think we're virtuous? I mean, I think Sinon takes on like a bit of the load for all of us. I feel like all of us can appear virtuous in comparison. Like she's doing God's work. I think. Yeah, I actually think that Sinon does God's work by doing that. Vonathan, thank you so much for conscripting yourself over on Twitch. I do appreciate it. Please take your sword and continue to battle against various people without virtue. Not including me, I've got tons of virtue. Got virtue coming out the wazoo. Mr. Sandman, thank you for the super chat. Big Willie, did you cast that Moemo Kyun spell that we taught you at the Maid Cafe on Bibi again? She's talking about that collab again last night. We were also like... I told Bibi that we have a beautiful life together in RimWorld. There's a little bit of cannibalism, but it just makes it all the more romantic. I said that we actually have quite an idyllic little life together. She cooks for me. I kill I killed the treacherous hussar for her. It's actually very idyllic, yeah. Well, it's actually very beautiful at the moment. It's very nice. Give a splash of cannibalism to keep it a little bit spicy. Who gets to eat the other in the end? I think she'd offer herself to me. I'm fully confident. No, I'm not the one dying in this scenario. I hunt the long pork, and she gathers it. Ooh, very good. Beherit's Benis, thank you so much for the tip over on Stream Elements. Sorry, Big Willie, you're too much of a dork to ever be a dommy mommy. Actually, that goes for your gen mate Pink Dork too. Yeah, I'm sorry to all of the people who were hoping for some sort of Dometh Mometh in Saga, but I don't think any of us actually qualify for that dubious honor. I feel like at the beginning people were seeing mine and Malice's designs and just going again doing the I do like a shot like oh face, but like yeah, Dometh no Mometh. Nitya could physically dominate you by crushing you with her tail. It's pretty large. Like, could you imagine getting whacked by that? That's pure muscle. Plus, she's your senpai. Yeah, that tail is pure muscle. You're gonna get spanked. Natural whip. Ooh, Nitty Tail is Nastail who'd win that fight. I don't know, but if there's like a all phase fighting game, I'm sure they both have tail related moves. How was the HR meeting for sensitivity training? You were pretty racist towards vampires. Let's just say it sucked. Badumch. Is there gameplay? Is there gameplay? Is there gameplay? Like now or soon? No, this is the gameplay. I'm actually doing Suzerain right now. If you're here because you saw Suzerain in the title and like, oh, where game? You're a little early. It's only been 25 minutes. This is the gameplay. This is actually what Suzerain is. It's just an anime girl talking. at you about random nonsense for at least half an hour. Look, I probably should get into it pretty quickly today because I have a few errands I have to run, but because I decided that I would I shouldn't even really sleep in. Look, okay, actually, I'll tell a lie. I have been awake a little less long, not as long as 5 hours. The first time I woke up, though, was about 5 hours ago. And I was like, God, why am I up so bloody early? And then I proceeded to sleep for another hour or so. And then I got up for real after that. But there was definitely, yeah, there was like the feeling of like, why am I up so early? I don't have to be up so early. But the errands involve like getting more food for the miniature giant space lion, and he's usually pretty cranky if he doesn't get fed. Yeah, and it was a Sunday, you know, and so I was like, okay, I guess I'll get another hour or so of sleep. And yeah, so I've got to make sure that I finish in time to go to the store to get the food, because of course I get him fancy, nice food that looks like real, actual, you know, bits of meat instead of just kind of like a slurry. And I also add extra water to all of his meals so he lives forever. And doesn't get... Actually, I'm kind of worried now that, like, because he basically gets soup for every meal now. Like, I get him nice food, and I add extra water to it to make it like a nice little soup, and he loves his soup. He like drinks all of the water first, and then he eats, and then he eats all of the meat inside. But because of that, he like barely touches his actual like water bowl. His belly is full of soup. But that means at least I know that he's drinking each day. So, you know. So that way I know he's actually getting hydration. Because kidney disease is actually yeah, cats don't enjoy, I don't think they like just like water by itself, but if it's soup, he loves soup. If it's mixed in with his food, oh, he'll drink tons of water. Because it tastes delicious. Yeah, so that's why because I don't think he's naturally a very like drink from my water bowl sort of cat. So yeah, I think they do prefer running water as well, and if they do have to drink water. But yeah, that's actually a great way to increase because like he gets oh my god, I've got such a spoiled cat. This miniature giant space lion is so spoiled. So he gets like a bit of wet food mixed in with soup for breakfast, and then he gets a different type of wet food for dinner mixed in with soup, like mixed in with water to make a soup at dinner time, and then just before bed he gets a little bit of niblet. So he gets a little bit of like dry food kibble for his teeth. So like I get him like the sort of dental like either Hills or Royal Canin like dental or hairball control, because he's quite fluffy and he loves to throw up a hairball when he's particularly fluffy. He is not fat. He's actually, because I don't feed him treats, and like the amount of food that I give him I portion out. So he only gets treats quite rarely, actually, only when he's being really adorable, which is often, but he has to be extra adorable. So he's really fluffy, but he's only about 4 kilograms actually. And because he's fluffy though, I do think that like I think he looks more chonky because of the fluff. So that doesn't stop me from pointing at him and going, "Ha, look at this little fatty." He's not actually. He's quite... It's mostly fur, but I like to make fun of him anyway. He knows he's not really. He would though, if I let him eat as much as he wanted, because that's why, this is the reason why I have to feed him multiple times a day, is because he's not, you know how like some felines are the type that will be able to graze, like you can just kind of fill up their bowl with food and they'll come back and they'll kind of just graze throughout the day. They can portion control themselves, you know? Oh no, he can't. If I let him free feed, he'd be as big as a house. He's always got an appetite for treats. If you were to, so that's why I only give him treats very rarely. So, he would love. He's a cat that would love to be a fat cat. He's like, I would be such a chonk if it weren't for you, meddling mother. So I unfortunately get in the way of him and his aspirations. He's incredibly food motivated, but that's good because like whenever I can't find him, if he's like prancing somewhere around the entire kingdom, he's an indoor cat, so he only sort of lives in the confines of the castle. But if you know, he's like up in the balustrades or something, and if I just do the you know, the shake of the treat satchel, he'll come running. Oh, if he hears me open like the door to the treat cupboard, because it's also like the cupboard for like, I'll keep candles and stuff in there. So if I ever want to like have a scented candle going, and I open the cupboard door, his fat ass thinks it's for him. So he's down in an instant, and I'm like, it's not for you. This is where the sin comes out. It's not very nice calling cat a fat ass, but it's funny because he's so fluffy. And because he doesn't speak English. He actually speaks Chinese. He's like, Zhe. I'm like, do you like food? He's like, Dway. He's like, damn you, Wigeren. My friend is a cat like that. She's no fear of guests when food is a possibility. Oh yeah. I think he's incredibly food motivated. You could get him to be your best friend if you just give him a treat. On very rare occasions, like maybe months go by before I offer him one. But those like sort of churu, like licky tube treats. My God. I only give it to him when I've had to do something. He has to go to like the vet or something, or I've had to give him like, you know, the flea treatment or something like that. That's the only time, but he gets it and he goes, he's insane. Another day in Glorious Nippon. How's your adventure in Glorious Nippon going, Hisagi? Have you been to any incredible landmarks? Anything to make all of us who aren't in Glorious Nippon jealous? Yeah, those are like crack for cats. What's he like on catnip? Actually, I don't really have that much catnip-based you know, toys or things. I haven't really got much nip. Maybe today when I pop down and go to the you know, the pet repository, I can when I'm picking him up some of his food, I can also have a look at some nip. Does it actually kind of like drug the cat? Is it like, or is it just is it just like a fun scent for them? Akihabara, Sensoji Temple, Ikebukuro, Shinjuku, Shibuya. Exploration is fun. I hope you've been having a wonderful time. Have you been doing a ton of shopping? Are you a shopping sort of person? Or is it more just like landmarks, looking around, like going to restaurants and cafes and sorts of things? Or are you like a photograph sort of person, like need to photograph all the landmarks and whatnot? What sort of traveler are you? Actually, this is a question for everyone. What sort of traveler are you, Villagers? Do you mainly travel to shop? Do you go for experiences? Do you go for photos? Do you go, just to like wander and live like a local? CDs, clothes, and gunpla? I just walk around. You're a food person, Zerodayo? Go to specific events? An anxious one, only Chow. I travelled once and it was awful. I'll definitely get experiences for you. Walk around and explore. Historic landmarks. The food. There's a couple of foodies in here. Try to experience it unless I'm going for an event and get sick there. Exploration, food, and mostly window shopping. Haven't travelled in ages, but it's always nice to see the sights. Just wandering. Oh, every possible museum. Every museum ever. Experience food, don't really like photos. I love seeing local architecture. Buying stuff's a hassle because you have to take it home. But that's like you have to travel light, so you can just fill your suitcases with things to bring back. Exploring and photos, experiencing food and culture too. I think I've been to 10 or so countries. Do you have a favourite? Oh, you say Hachiko! Oh, Hachiko's so lovely. What a lovely story. It always reminds me of the Futurama episode that was based on the Hachiko story. Sopla? What do you mean? Sopla? Is that like gunpla? Seymour. Yeah, the Jurassic Park episode. Like, it's impossible to go to the Hachiko statue and like not think of the story and not like tear up a little bit. Like, it's so sweet. It's 2:40 AM. I should sleep. Have a good stream, Mina. That's okay. You get some rest. Got to see the life-sized unicorn Gundam statue before they take it down in August. Yeah, I'm surely they'll add another one. Like, surely there'll be another life-sized Gundam in Odaiba at some point, right? Like, I'm assuming that they're taking it down to put in a new iteration of Gundam, because that's what happened last time. Like, they had the previous Gundam had been there for years and years, and they took it down and they put the unicorn Gundam statue up. So surely, eventually there'll be another Gundam. But I guess this is your last chance to see the current one. I'm sick and weak and suffering, but I've got Mina, so it's okay. Lou Bear Admirer, thank you for the super chat. Sorry, I'm going back to them so I can finish them off and get into Suzerain. Sinon is the most say-so of Saga, though, no? Yeah. Yeah, she is, yeah. Absolutely. Gerthen, thank you so much for the bits. Cheers. Sorry, Captain, did I miss if we're going to go on a quest to save or defeat corrupted heroes. Corrupted heroes? You mean my senpai or? I mean, we're always. I think here in the village, we're always ready to go and save any. We'll stamp out any corruption because we are a completely uncorruptible force. But I don't know. They look really cool, so I don't want to save them just yet. I think I just want to see what they get up. They want to see what shenanigans they get up to. I think they all look really cool so far. Looking forward to seeing the last. So yeah. Staying at a ryokan with my family and cooking dinner made from convenient stuff was one of my fondest Japan trip memories. Eventually there'll be Gundam statues all over Japan. Eventually there'll be actual Gundams. Yeah, what will they do with the old ones? Send it to war? But, let's read this last. I'm actually going to get started on SUZERAIN really soon. I think we've had enough of it, yeah. But it's been... How does the time pass so quickly? Like, honest to goodness, what have I talked about in, like, the last 40 minutes or so? That's crazy. Well, 30-something if we include the time that was on the starting scene screen. But it just feels like, where does the time go? Cat food. We talked about cat food a bit. Oh, my goodness. Dot Hacker Keyblade Master, thank you so much for 3 months of Frost Guardianship, and thank you for the hello. It goes by way too fast. Way too fast. Alright. Just some riveting conversations. Honestly. We're really pushing the envelope in terms of what Zatsu conversations can be about. Yeah, we're really just taking into crazy new places with incredible new ideas. Alright, SUZERAIN. Oh yeah, let's go. SUZERAIN time. Let's get into the SUZERAIN corner. And then I'm going to go here. And then I'm going to turn on SUZERAIN. And then how long has it been? Since? It's been a little while. Let's see, the last time it was played. Oh, I've got to... It's been so long, I have to update it. Hopefully it's not a huge one. It shouldn't be, right? I've got to update it. I've got to update it. Oh my gosh. Now I'm wondering, like... Hold on. Let me turn that on so we've got some background music. If it's gonna take a little while. Oh no, it's already it's half done. It's halfway done. What did they update? What was the Oh, I think it was only updated, it was only patched yesterday. I think so. I think it was yesterday it was patched. Oh no, it was, the patch was on June 9th. Sorry, it was actually a couple of weeks ago. We last played on May 10. Was that Meido no Hi? Alright. Wait, is it Father's Day? Father's Day in Astelia isn't until September. Oh, let me refresh the chat. Oh, are you doing something for your fathers? What are you doing with your father? Do you have villagers? Are you father enjoyers? Do you have a good relationship with your father? It's in November, sillies. That's tomorrow for the US. What are you getting your father? Well, nothing, because mine's in September. Oh no, oh yeah, it does this thing where I go big. Hello. I've got 3 frames a second. Hold on. Oh, there we go. And then I go here. He's big. There we go. Continue. Oh no, I'm big again. Surely it'll make me small in a second. I think I've just got to pick out. There we go. And then back in. Yes. Okay, there we go. We're good. We're good. We're good. Dudley, thank you so much for celebrating a month as a Frost Guard. Happy Father's Day, Mina. Thanks for being the best dad. Do you think like in am I the dad in Saga? Am I? Well, if Saga was if we're a family, am I the dad? Is Malice the mum? Or is oh, maybe Nitty could be the dad. Nitty could have dad energy. But then what would I be? Hermit? On the outskirts of the village? Nitty's the weird uncle? I don't think Nitty's the bratty child. I think Anya would be the bratty child, right? Nitty the uncle. Big sister? Is Sinon? What about? Wait, would it be like a middle? Would we have 3 children? Would it be an uncle, or is it like are we a throuple, or? Me, Bibi, Malice. Well, Bibi's the dog. Bibi's the family dog. So Anya's the cat. Nitty older sister, Sinon younger sister. Or are they? Oh, is it the other way around? Am I like a bratty older sister? Sinon the single auntie. Yeah, Nitty has to be the older one, I think, maybe. Or do you think Malice could be the dad and I'm the mum? Yeah, Nitty is pretty dad coded though as well. Like I think she could. Like if you put her in a mustache, I'd be like, I see it. I see it. If you put her in a mustache, I could. You'd fool me. All right, let's have a read of like some of these. Let's look at the news. It's always good to look at the news. Okay. So The Economist is saying that education privatization has been proven successful. Our editorial team immediately analysed the SIPA report to assess the standards of education. Curious to see how policies of the last decade have begun changing the performance metrics. Lesbia specifically stood out with a jump of 6 positions forward to 5th out of 68. After research and analysis collaboration with the Vice President of Magnus Cartus and the SMEA chapter leader of OMEC, we gained critical insights to how Lesbia increased its education quality. It boils down to 2 major points. One is the privatisation efforts led by Prime Minister Alvarez that led to most schools in wealthier neighbourhoods, 1404 to be precise, to be privatised. This lifted a significant budget burden off the state because the wealthy paid for a great education for their kids and were still taxed reasonably in order to divert funds to state schools elsewhere. The second major factor was the allowance of minor curricular changes for private institutions that led to major improvements in student participation, teacher happiness, and boosted the performance of the institutions. You know, the lesbian education model. What do you guys think? Like, do you think that private schools are a good thing, or should all schools be state funded and run? What's it like where you're from, wherever you're from? You don't have to like say exactly where you're from, but I know that different countries have different models for this. Because I know that there's some countries where it's like basically all public schools, but they're really good. But there are some countries where it's all like lots of public schools, but they're not very well run. I think private schools aren't good because they open the way for discrimination. Yeah, you end up with people like me who are incredibly classist. I think private schools aren't good as they open. Used to be okay, now they suck. Depends if the state wants higher education as labour. Pro homeschool. I don't know. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think there's a lot of parents out there who have the ability to homeschool their kids. Just saying. I don't know. I wouldn't trust some parents to be like, and it's usually the parents who are most like, I'm going to homeschool my child. I'm like, you really shouldn't be homeschooling your child. I'm sorry, I don't trust you at all. Like, I think, you know, if you were though someone who was trained in pedagogy, if you were someone who had a wide breadth of knowledge and also had the understanding to maybe like get tutors in various different subjects for your child in addition to your homeschooling, maybe then it could work. Like maybe you could provide as good an education, but like if you're just like, oh yeah, it's just me and my high school education in which I kind of like flunked it, but I just got I barely passed high school, but I think I can teach a kid. I did it myself. And it's like, what? But I think like if you did it, if it was like a community and you all like, if you basically start, but isn't that basically a school with like extra steps? Like, wouldn't that be a school with extra steps if like you had a little homeschool community, and let's say that every parent was qualified in one area, like one was like, exceptional with you know, English and literature and could provide a wonderful, well-rounded, personalized education for the group of children, and then another one was a mathematical genius, and one studied science extensively. Like, yeah, maybe in that sort of situation, but isn't that just like creating your own like bougie like bespoke private school with extra steps? Yeah, if it took a village and everyone had their own specialty, yeah, I think like that, possibly that could work, and you could maybe create a group of super children. You could have this like homeschooled group of super children if you literally like min-maxed specialized tutors. But yeah, the social side is also a really big part of it. Yeah, but with enough steps, your school with extra steps just becomes school. Like, it's basically school at that point. You can learn more on the internet than you can in school, but you can learn a lot of terrible things on the internet. I don't think children have the ability to discern what they should or should not be taking from the internet as truthful gospel or as a worthy pursuit. I think you're overestimating the ability of children to actually make good decisions for themselves on how they actually spend their time on the internet. That would require a far more trust than I have in any modern child. Governments are trying to take the internet away from kids, but it's because, like, I think because a lot of, yeah, I just, if you had it, but again, it's all generalizations, right? Because you could have the most, like, switched on, motivated, ambitious child who is able to, you know, discern what is, you know, the optimum routes of study in order to make them the next Nobel Prize winner. But then you'd have like the kids who are on Roblox for 8 hours a day. They're like, school time. I love Fortnite. I sure do love Roblox. Yeah, younglings are not great decision makers. But I think that it's yeah, the doom scrollers. They're only doing that thanks to every kid having a laptop in class now. I think like maybe we'll start to see, at least like in the education space, we're going to start to see a shift away from like this almost like elastic band or boomerang sort of I guess notion, because I think with AI as well, it's so much harder for educators to verify whether students are doing their own work, right? So the only way to do that is to force them to do all their work physically in either exam conditions or in a classroom, so they can't rely on like, I think there'll be less assignments, more exams, in order to like, so I think there'll actually be a shift away from doing that. But yeah, I think that like in terms of like, this is why it should be every parent's choice though as to how they educate their kids. So if they do, but I hope that the ones that do decide to go with a homeschooled approach know what they're getting into and also are able to get appropriate support, because there's nothing like, I don't think that like I would be able to give my child the most well-rounded education. Like there's definitely there's areas that I think that I wouldn't be able to provide sufficient tuition in, and that in that case I would be looking for, if I was forced to do it, like if I absolutely had to, there are some things that's like, yes, I possibly could provide a good education in some areas, in some subjects, but there's others that I would absolutely need to provide outside help, or would look into getting them distance education. Like if it was because I was like, you know, I lived somewhere in the middle of nowhere and there was no appropriate school for 12 miles and I had to do it. Yeah, they need, just think, at the moment, my child only needs meat soup twice a day and some niblet for their teeth in the evenings. Yeah, maybe up to a certain age. Like, yeah, I reckon I could do primary school, perhaps. But yeah, but I think primary school, though, generally isn't about the quality of, like, tuition that they're getting. I think, like, learning their basics, like their reading, writing, and arithmetic, like learning their basic level of all three, is probably what's necessary up to a certain point. But I guess, benefits of sending your child to a mainstream primary school is so they learn to socialize. Like, that's probably the main years where children learn how to, for better or worse, how to deal with other people. Like, yeah, it's more about developing their personality and socialization so they don't become isolated and weird. How not to be awkward. And learning how to get bullied, yeah, they're going to learn how to deal with that. And learning how to bully. Biggest issue with homeschooling for me is how many parents, at least here in the States, use a way to insulate their kids from the wider world instead of preparing them for it. I mean, that is always a risk that is run, because, like, you can't keep a child within a home forever, or maybe you could, but eventually they're going to need to interact with that outside world, and it might become harder and harder to do the longer they are sort of kept from, I guess, like, realities of the world. SUZERAIN streams are really peak. Look, yeah, literally we're just reading something about education, and here we are going to this big, deep philosophical discussion about whether, like, private education or homeschooling or public education, or what are the faults with it, all of it. But I also think that it also depends on where you grew up, your culture that you grew up in, and also like societal attitudes in the place where you are towards education. In a lot of at least from my experience, a lot of people from East Asian or Southeast Asian countries, they tend to have a very high opinion of education and teachers. However, in some other countries, particularly more in sort of the Western sphere of the world, they tend to have a lower opinion of educators and the benefits of education for their child. So that can also, I guess that can also influence people's ideas of, especially like in terms of like, and on public education and private education. Maybe that's why in some societies, like at least looking through the portal to Australia, there's definitely that sort of divide between private education and public education. And people will automatically, like, it's sort of seen like public education is for the masses and private education is for the unwashed masses. Unless you're in a sort of catchment area where it's all just rich people anyway. Or a lot of people send their children to private schools to get them, if they like live in a low income area, they'll send their child to the private school rather than the public school, because they just want to get them away from the riffraff of the world, instead of just focusing on like just generally improving. I had a high school English teacher who didn't know how to pronounce communicative. Is it because they come from a different background? Well, actually, that's another thing. Like, what about foreign educated or like foreign born teachers who then move to like a native English speaking country and still wish to teach, but they're actually seen as less competent than I guess native speaking teachers, because even if their subject knowledge is excellent, they're sometimes seen as less competent than native level speakers because of just purely accent. My friend's mom was a math teacher who was forced to teach English and she couldn't pronounce foliage. That's how you pronounce it, right? Foliage. Did she say foliage? Foliage, right? Shortage of knowledgeable teachers is an issue as well. Lots of gym teachers filling as a math teacher here. And of course, at least one of the issues that Australia is finding with education is that they're actually having a shortage of teachers because not necessarily because there aren't enough people who are trained as teachers. It's actually because a lot of teachers are leaving the profession because children's behavior is horrible. is because children's behavior is getting out of hand. And it's just like, it doesn't actually make it worth it anymore to do it. The thing about teachers that educators don't have to be subject matter experts. They need to be experts at getting information to others, which is their own art and skill. Exactly, actually. Like, that's why there is such a thing as pedagogy, like the art of teaching children things. Like, you don't actually have to be an expert in the thing. Of course, it helps. Like, content knowledge, of course, helps, but being able to actually explain it, and you've probably all noticed this too, like everyone's probably noticed this throughout either their own schooling or even in higher education at university, the amount of university lecturers who are subject matter experts, like they know their stuff so well, but they can't communicate to save their life. Like, it actually makes them a worse teacher. There is also the issue of pay and everything, and yet when you'll see it all the time, like I'll see it in like the community boards and whatnot. Whenever people are like, there needs to be more like teachers unions are fighting for more pay, and you'll see this with like nurses unions and other sort of like service those sort of professional service industry unions. They're like wanting more pay, and then you'll see someone in the comments being like basically like dumbing it down to glorified babysitting, and they're like, we shouldn't have to pay them more. It's like, well, you worry about the standard of education, and you worry about why no one wants to teach your children, but you don't actually want to pay anyone enough to do it. Like, what do you want? What do you want here? You can't have it both ways. It's like the old saying goes, great players don't always make great coaches. Yeah, lesbian education, that's what we're looking at the moment. Gobliana Bruno, thank you so much for the super chat. Captain, before you had asked who got to listen to all your wisdom? No one. I just kept my thinky thoughts in my head. And now I have a place for all my thinky thoughts, and you have to listen to them all. You have to listen to all my thinky thoughts now. Hub is on the mute button. Mr. Stevens, I thank you for the super chat. Eventually leads them to live on the outskirts of the village, keeping to themselves, so they take forever to craft a simple box. But who am I to judge, seeing as I'm now doing the same thing? J. Cruz, thank you for the tip over in stream elements. You absolutely give off older cis vibes. I only wish it was by blood. And Insect Devil, thank you for the super chat as well. Are all villagers shamans homeschooled? Maybe, I don't know. They're learning all of their horrible tricks at home. Who's teaching them? Parents. Anyway, so... But yeah, look, maybe sort of. Is there any countries though where they do public education really well? Does anyone want to speak up to like? There's a model that we could follow here. Back to Suzerain. Like, is there a model that Suzerain could look at to try and provide good public education? Is there a country that gets it right? France and Germany are apparently goats. Actually, yeah, Germany is basically all public education, isn't it? And they also have lots of different like speaking to I have a Austrian co-worker who got isekai'd maybe like 10 years back. So sometimes we talk about them growing up in you know, Austria and by extension Germany. And so but they say that like it's a really good system there because there's like lots of different pathways for people that aren't academic throughout the sort of high school. Grew up in the States, so I don't know. I heard Singapore's good at it though. When I was actually younger in the 80s, had a good school system in the small city, large town that I grew up in. Was it that like everyone went to the public school and it was actually quite a well-run place? Nordic used to be good, but it's been dropping fast past 20 years. Robust public education systems will be a big economic cost to maintain. Yes, maybe we can, but maybe the Reign administration can look at that. Let's have a look at the whole sword post. Protests appear calmer. Ooh, we're doing something. That I think it's because we showed up. Like we actually showed up and we were like, look, we're trying to make changes here. So they persist, but with a slight reprieve in tension. Isolated incidents of violence reported on Monday night in a few major cities, notably Dare and Lackhaven. Dusk fell and the crowd began to dwindle. There were instances of discord, the remembrance, whole sword. Majority of other significant urban centers seem to present a calmer facade. All right. Sounds good. And then radical Soul needs to answer for his crimes. Shocking misogynist rally. Labour Union Rights March. Look how great the rights are in Valgsland. Minimum wage, overtime pay, and safe working regulations. The time for workers' reform is now. Oh, our workers want to be safe. Oh, they want wages and overtime pay. Actually, it's all really fair and reasonable. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I'm doing this. That's actually, like, this is actually kind of just the bare minimum, you know? I don't mean to be doing the voice. That's actually really reasonable. Oh, they're always ask, you know? Yeah, oh wait, there's actually fair demands. I think I'm being evil. Oh, got time for some union busting. We're gonna make sure that they have no rights. No. I'm a worker who wants things like basic safety regulations and paid overtime. Oh, actually, that's, oh, well. I guess that's actually fair. Alright, let's look at the sword. Read the report. Young sword suspected of terror attack. So approximately 4:46 p.m. on Monday. Terror attack occurred in the Sword City Centre during a rally by left-wing CPS. What is that? What are you? The Communist Party of Swordland. Okay, right. The attacker suspected to be working with the Young Swords or another organisation connected to them. Opened fire with an automatic rifle on the protesting civilians. 17 people were killed, including the attacker who shot himself afterwards. Witnesses testified that the rifle was hidden behind a newsstand. Our local police are now wary of this tactic, and all newsstands will be inspected by the police before and during crowded rallies. Further investigation on Young Swords underway. Can the Young Swords stop trying to rabble-rouse? Like, my goodness, I just want to... Ah, where have I gone? Oh, no. Oh, goodness, the whole sword. Okay, here we go. Is there anywhere else that I can go over? Narbel. Briefing on the current welfare situation, and then read the report. I'll read the report first, and I'll do the briefing. Okay. Franz Richter, leader of the PFJP, recently outlined their demands for the reform package. He declared that without the implementation of term limits and limited decrees, it would be very difficult for him and his party to stand behind the reform package. I actually think that term limits are a good thing. Prevents, like, you know, dictatorships. So I'm okay with that, but let's have a look at what let's say that's only the report. We'll have to see what actually the demands are. Sinon, thank you so much for raiding in. I do appreciate it. Thank you. On both Twitch and YouTube, I do really appreciate it. Thank you, Sinon. The Say So Siren has graced us once again with her presence. So everyone say hello. Welcome, welcome. To Sinon's lovely viewers. My name is Wilhelmina Frost. I am captain of the SUZERAIN Royal Guard and legendary knight of phaseconnect's newest generation, Phase Saga. We were just talking, we're actually getting into deep chats. Like, this is deep chats, the stream. But SUZERAIN has a way of doing that for us, doesn't it? So we were talking about education. We had a big sort of chat about education. Look, we're going to be going into a briefing on the current welfare situation here in Swordland. So, I guess we'll see if that spawns another discussion. Yeah, I have resumed my duty of being the top SUZERAIN streamer. It is a hard life, but someone's got to do it. Like, you know, it ain't much, but it's honest work being the top SUZERAIN streamer in all of Swordland. I mean, Astelia and the world. So, yeah, political philosophy discussion. We're just really getting to the core of the matter. That's right. That's right. So... hard fought title. I had to beat off like 20 other SUZERAIN streamers with a stick to take this title. Like, I was like, back you fiends, back you fools. I will be the top SUZERAIN streamer. I actually don't know how many SUZERAIN streamers there are. Existence of a top SUZERAIN streamer implies mid, bot, and jungler SUZERAIN streamers as well. That's true. And support. There'll be a support streamer. Through violence. I mean, no, it was just with a stick. It wasn't with a sword, at least this time. Alright, let's do the briefing. Welcome everyone, though. Lawfully good SUZERAIN streamer Mina. That's right, that's right. I hope all doing well. I hope you all enjoyed Cindy's stream. Sukinon, thank you so much for Super Chat as well. What a coincidence, Sinon was also talking about education. I don't think we're talking about the same thing, to be perfectly blunt. Really? She wasn't talking about the differences between private, public, and homeschooled education? And the pitfalls and triumphs of all three? I was surprised that she wouldn't be talking about that. I think it's a hot topic. As well as differing attitudes depending on which part of the globe or dimension you're from. If she was, it was a major coincidence. I think someone recommended Suzerain to Lumi recently as she's looking for new stuff to play, especially since she finished her latest Strategy Sunday game. Well, apparently, like Suzerain can be can have many different ways it can go. So no Suzerain stream is the same. So it would be interesting to compare how our Suzerains go. Like, especially considering I would also like to try, after this run where I'm trying to be like, democracy, I would love to do some other runs where maybe I act as an Anton Rain with different ideologies. So, I think it'd be really interesting to see how different the game can get with different ideologies. All right, let's do the briefing. All right. I arrived at the meeting room for my talk with, I wonder if this is like, is that like the sort of Irish way of pronouncing like Kira or Ciara? Is it like, is it, I wanted to give it the, it's not, I don't know if it really be Irish though, like Kira would be the Irish way of saying it, but then Ciara would probably just be like doing it phonetically. And Pascal. Before beginning, I took a moment to appreciate the view from the balcony. The mountains of Narbel were completely covered with snow. While I was mesmerized by the scenery, Pascal Benawal walked up to me. Who's Pascal? He's an author and Swedish government official, Minister of Health, Social Affairs and Labour. Okay, President of the University of Valgren and Gelsford School of Medicine. All right. Elected to the Assembly in 1945, advocated for new workplace safety regulations, workers' compensation. So he does actually seem to... initially was a supporter of Ewald Alfonso's programs. He eventually turned against the free market reforms. It drained badly needed. He's a bit like me, actually. So like I at first did support Alfonso, but then when I realized that Alfonso's scheme was not working, I turned away from it and realized it was draining too much money. Okay, so he actually seems to, yeah, he's became known as a writer who depicts the struggles of the Swedish life from a realistic frame, brought him praise from the middle class and the civil rights groups. Yeah, he actually sounds like a nice guy. Like, he seems like he actually has a good head on his shoulders. What's your read? What's your read, chat, on Pascal Benawal, just from how we're, his biography? My Minister of Health was... ironically somewhat portly, having gained a few pounds since his breakthrough as a best-selling writer. Too many canapes at too many writers' like soirees. But his authority on social affairs could not be questioned. Such a spectacular view. Kira Walder, the Minister of Education, joined us on the balcony dressed in a sky blue pantsuit. Her preference for trousers over dresses had made her much the subject of palace gossip, but it didn't bother her in the slightest. I bet she's a lesbian. Spectacular indeed. But if you look at the opposite direction, you'll see what Sol's decades of neglect did to the city. Most of the people living in Narbel are workers, farmers, and their wives and children. They're breaking their backs for close to no pay, all thanks to greedy corporations. Whatever. I'd rather be in a whole sort of... I want to say, these two people both, I think they're both people who want to help the common man. So let's try and get them on side. My intention is to help the working class. I'm glad we see eye to eye on the issue. If you look past the view, you can see the real problems. Whatever toots, I'd rather be in whole sword. Real problems like poverty. Pascal nodded gravely. This was a subject he knew quite a bit about himself. His best-known books are about the plight of Swordland's less fortunate, drawing from his own past, growing up in the squalor. This face sucks. What a dump. Yeesh. Well put, Miss Walder. I don't need to tell you about my own experiences with poverty. I'm sure you have similar stories, am I right, Mr. President? I mean, like, even if you're in the middle class, like, this is probably a little bit pretentious, but, like, even, like, we've gone through difficult times. Whether it be poverty or whether it be unrest, I think it is still fair to say that even, no matter what class you were in Swordland, you have experienced some difficult times, because it wasn't just, it's not, even wealth doesn't insulate you, because like, even being in the middle class, it didn't insulate me from getting beaten at university, you know? He's talking about poverty though. Should I be truthful then? Should I be like, I'm sorry, like, he is talking about poverty, but do you think I should be truthful then? Like, well, and then I'll like, but what if I was a radical. Yeah, I probably lived, go with the truth. Alright, well. Let's see. So you could at least sympathize with the plight of these people. You don't have to have been born poor to sympathize with the plight of the impoverished, much as you don't have to have been born a woman to recognize Swordland's need for parity among the sexes. Parity among the sexes shouldn't be our first priority. Look how many high-ranking female politicians our country has. Appearances can be deceiving, Pascal. Her voice sounded bitter. This is a woman she's carrying a lot. Think about how Lilius Graf got to her current position. I don't necessarily believe the rumours about her in Seoul, but she never could have risen so high if she didn't parrot his cause. Gloria Tori, is it an accident that the first female assembly speaker is such a staunch conservative? And then there was Alfonso's habit of promoting women to prominent positions to give Swordland a progressive sheen while accomplishing nothing in reality. Well, I feel like she's probably one of the only, like, she probably feels that she's one of the only women in a position of power that didn't get there. Like, it feels like she's real progressive. Like, she didn't get there because she's trying to be like, yeah, they're all doing okay, but she's like, oh, they all had to pander to the conservative front, didn't they? Like, she's quite bitter, isn't she? But not to say that being bitter is bad. Like, I think she, sometimes bitterness can turn into strength. Like, you can actually really get some stuff done if you channel your bitterness. Yeah, channel your seed. Use your anger and turn it to productivity. Meanwhile, those of us who don't use our clout to help powerful men stay in power are denigrated as angry spinsters. Oh my god, I called it, didn't I? I ask you, Mr. President, does anyone care that your strategist, Mr. Gallade, doesn't have a wife? Leave Lucian out of this. He's my... You veered off topic. I've been wondering, is he gay? What's the answer that makes it like I don't want to... I just... Yeah, leave Lucian out of this is a bit too defensive. Yeah, I've been wondering about Lucian's proclivities. Probably just a party boy Lucian. Maybe the tangent, yeah. I don't think I need to get bitter. I don't need to be bitter, and I don't need to take this into a new direction. I think we're just going to talk about... We're talking about education, aren't we? No, we're talking about social justice. Well, I guess it is basically part of the social justice. It doesn't matter. We're going to go here. Mr. Benwell asked. I answered. As I was saying, isn't it time that Holswood addressed the country's real issues? Rather than bowing to the wishes of the hawks and fearmongers in the establishment and diverting yet more resources to military and law enforcement. Our welfare, healthcare and education systems have been decaying since the recession. Swordland's poorer communities are losing hope. Hopelessness and the lack of opportunities can drive people to extreme solutions. We're seeing increased crime, domestic violence, and, yes, rising inequality between men and women. I think this one is probably the one that aligns most with democracy. Those issues must be tackled from different directions. We need to engage in it holistically. We can't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. We can't single-mindedly pursue one goal while ignoring others. Like, we do need to, we do have military concerns, and we do have concerns of education and with inequality and with poverty and lack of opportunity. So those are all, everything is actually a really important part in, you know, creating a harmonious civilization. But I don't think, I feel like she's probably going to want it steered in one direction more than another, but I think we do need to engage in it. If only we could stop recession, create jobs and growth. Jobs and growth is such a politician line. But I think we need to look at everything altogether. I'm planning to help by using an increased budget to improve the quality of healthcare. That could prove useful, but we need to be doing a lot more. Education has similar issues. Yeah, if only there's an unimportant garbage department I could scrap. There is another subject I want to mention. I've been working on improving the rights of workers in our country and have proposed a draft bill that is currently being reviewed by our party. Mr. Clavan has already backed me and given his support. Swordland has fallen behind most countries on this subject, and it's my responsibility to ensure this is not the case. Maybe there's always room for improvement, and it's good to hear that you're pushing for it. I appreciate the kind words, Mr. President. I will not let you down. It is also a matter of life and death. Every decade we hear of some horrific accident due to employees' disregard for their workers' safety. So, will you back the bill when it arrives on your desk, Mr. President? To make a decision, I would need to evaluate the contents in detail. Understandable. You receive all the sections in an outline. It's getting a little cold out here. Shall we continue our discussion indoors? We headed back inside. The Lilia's first Kira rivalry must be legendary. Yes, I think so. You can tell that there's it's not a sisterhood. The meeting room was already prepared for state business. Small gifts for each of us had been placed on the table by the municipality. We took our seats. Let's start with the health overview. Let's start from 1 and we'll go down the bottom. So, as you wish, Mr. President. Swordland has a free healthcare system, except for a few private hospitals operating under it. Most of the populace receives adequate treatment. Health issues primarily appear in rural areas due to a lack of quality services. I'm doing my best to ensure that citizens of all ages receive the best healthcare they can. I also personally want to solve our high infant and maternal mortality problem. How many doctors and nurses are employed? We have 31,594 doctors and 73,680 nurses working for the Ministry of Health. This is a high number. What I think is... I don't want to be rude, but out of those numbers, how many are in urban and in rural areas? Good point, Kira. Pascal? I think that is important. The data shows that per 10,000 people in urban areas, there are only about 11 doctors, while in rural areas, there are only 3. In other words, rural citizens of medical emergencies have to wait an embarrassing long time before they're treated. Alright, then how many hospital beds are there per 10,000 citizens? There are 10 beds per 10,000 citizens. Compared to most of our neighbours, this is a very good number. Our amount of beds is higher than the countries of Agnolia and Wayland, but we obviously can't match Lespia or Vagsland. Agnolia and Wayland should hardly be used as a standard, but it's good to know we aren't in a massive health crisis yet. What's life expectancy and mortality rates? Our life expectancy is 65 years. Infant mortality rate is a worrying 121 per one... Oh my god, that's huge! Per 1,000 births, while our maternal mortality is at 5 per 1,000. Holy crap. Yeah, that's a big oof. Like, that 121 per 1,000 births, that's a huge oof, isn't it? I assure you that we're doing everything we can to save mothers and their newborns. Those numbers are saddening indeed. I agree, we must do everything we can. We're working very hard on improving the quality of the services. Yeah, like 12%? Holy crap. Yeah, it's like, you think that in the 1950s, like, there was still a lot of improvements in modern medicine by that point. Was it really that bad? Like, those infants had it coming. Maybe they shouldn't have let themselves, like, maybe the babies should have fought harder to live. Oh, God. Thank you, Pascal. Your in-depth briefing is much appreciated. I want to hear about the education system. With pleasure. Sworded education is free, but we have a very outdated system that I want to reform. The other important issue is the lack of access to education in rural areas, especially for young girls. Your administration has the power to solve both problems. My highest priority is to get enough funding to be able to build schools in rural areas, while I'll cleanse our educational system of its nationalistic indoctrination and sexist teachings. Alright, how many students and teachers do we have? Let's start with that. So, currently there are about 5 million students, 3 million in primary education, 1 million in secondary, and 1 million in tertiary. There are 155,316 teachers. Swordland is full of young and bright minds. I think I do believe that education for all, like, that's the only way that people pull themselves out of bad situations is through education. Like, that, I firmly do believe that. Knowledge is power, in my humble opinion. I think there needs to be a change in what is being taught. We should keep children to ask questions and educate. We should help children to ask questions and educate themselves. I mean, critical thinking is a skill that that isn't necessarily inherent. People aren't like, yeah, critical thinking isn't necessarily an inherent natural skill that people develop. You actually have to be given opportunities to learn it. It's not something that you develop naturally. And I think it's actually a huge issue when people don't develop the ability to critically think and just accept whatever's fed to them. I mean, if I was doing a democracy, if I was doing an undemocratic run, if I was looking to make a dictatorship, then don't let the kids think anything. Keep education low and keep the masses uneducated and ignorant, because then they're easier to control. But because I'm trying to be Mr. Democracy, because I'm trying to be Mr. Democracy, we actually have to find a way to improve our education. Some people are generally too dumb, not built for education, but we're not actually all the same. But I think there needs to be at least a baseline standard. I mean, like, maybe this might be a hot take as well, but yes, I don't believe that like people's intelligence is equal. Like, I don't think that there is equal intelligence among every single person in the world. Of course not, because everyone has different. There's, of course, not everyone is necessarily equal on statistics. Everyone rolls differently, right? Some people are have more physical prowess. Some people are more dexterous. Some people are more intelligent. Some people are more wise. Some people are just like great speakers or just really charismatic. And so everyone has a different thing in which they are able to participate in society. But I do believe that having access to at least basic education, including things like just basic literacy, even if you don't develop your critical thinking to the highest level, just having access to basic literacy is improves quality of life so much. Because imagine in this day and age being like functionally illiterate in your 20s or 30s, not being able to read anything. That actually stops your participation in society. So you don't have to be intelligent. You don't have to pursue higher education. You don't have to spec into something that requires vast amounts of intelligence. But everyone should have access to basic literacy in order to at least participate in society. So let's find out what the literacy rate of Swordland is. Oh god, the literacy rate of Swordland's at 80%. This is a very good indicator for future growth, but it needs to increase. It's also far lower among girls than boys. So they're still at a point where, like, do they just like tell girls, don't worry about reading, you're just going to have to work the loom. No, you like even if it's a society in which you're having most of your girls enter the sort of soft industries of or like the care focused industries, they're still going to need to know how to read. I'm sorry, if you're going to if you still want a society in which girls participate, you're still going to need your nurses, you're still going to need your your typists. So literacy is still going to not every woman can find a nice husband. You're still going to need secretaries. You're still going to need even this is the 50s, and the women are doing girl jobs. They still need to know how to read. Yeah, you don't want the illiterate nurse attending to you, right? But what if they start thinking they can do male jobs? Boys work the mines, girls work the looms. Girl jobs. But no, what I mean is traditionally female even in the traditionally female dominated industries, you still need them to read. My goodness, you still need them to read. Even if you were to never address, if this was the 1950s and you don't need to address swordish inequality between the sexes, you still need to address the literacy issue. Yeah, God, if could you imagine that, if your VTubers couldn't read, how would we ever engage with chat? If I was not given an education and I didn't become literate, I would have never been able to fill out an application form to join phaseconnect. If your people are not literate, then you unable to. Then you won't even have your VTubers. Only communicating in emotes. I just imagine what chat's saying in response to that. Oh, thanks, chat. I am amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna make Mina's school for villagers who can't read good, so they can participate fully in the streams. Do you know that there is some villagers right now are functionally illiterate, and they're not able to read the chat, but they're only able to hear what I'm saying and interpret that. I want to provide 100% literacy rate amongst all villagers, so even the illiterate villagers can one day type in chat and go, I learned how to read good and do other things good too because of you, Mina. That's my hope and goal, and that's why I'm starting the Wilhelmina Frost School for villagers who want to read good and do other things good as well. Yes, Gobliano, you're trying. Mina's Centre for Excellence for poor sods who can't read good. And if someone's going to develop me a prototype, and it'll be like, it needs to be, is this a villager school for ants? It needs to be 3 times as big. The Williteracy school. You have to learn your weeding, whiting, and arithmetic. The 3 W's. Oh my goodness. But why male VTubers? Did you listen to a single thing I said? If I remember correctly, the most illiterate areas are Bergia and Agneland. That is correct, although Lackhaven skews the statistics for the Nardis region, which also has a vast number of illiterate citizens. This underlines my point about the lack of access to education. Tell me about the difference between urban and rural education. Urban areas have 3 times the number of schools per 10,000 people compared to rural areas. Rural areas also suffer from lack of teachers. I can imagine teachers not preferring desolate areas. Salaries for teachers are very low here. We need to increase their pay to give them more incentive. We were literally talking about this just before. It's like, if you actually want your teachers to not leave the profession, you have to pay them a reasonable amount. And actually, yeah, if you want them to live in the middle of butt truck nowhere, you're probably gonna have to give them a bonus, right? Oh boy, I have to teach horrible rural children in a horrible rural land for no money at all. Can't wait to do it. Thank you, Kira. I can fill in the blanks from here. I believe that's everything. Kira stood up and moved towards the window. She took a deep breath. What is it? I'm gonna ask her what she's doing. Look at this impoverished city. Streets full of potholes. Hospital barely functioning. School half open. This is not just about Sol or even Alfonso failing. This decay in Swordland's forgotten regions has been going on for many decades due to structural corruption, which is fueled by capitalism. Ah, she's a real commie, isn't she? I actually want to hear what Pascal wants to say about this, because I'm actually interested in hearing his thoughts. Pascal, what do you think? There's not much to be said, sir. I agree with Kira, but it's also Gus Major's job to improve these areas. It's the responsibility of each and every one of us. Kira sat back down and sighed. One way or another, we need change in Swordland. Greed and unchecked capitalism will not magically provide for the people. I mean, I agree with that as well. Like, a little bit of capitalism, okay. Unchecked capitalism, it can almost be as dystopic as unchecked communism. So, yeah, I parried that one. You can have a little bit as a treat. Let's see what she actually wants to do then about it. Like, okay, Kira, you got so many ideas. Tell me them. Tell me what are your ideas? My plans require an increase in the government budget. I aim to solve the problems we highlighted with the allocated money. Well, all right. She's like, money goes towards services. Huh. A novel idea. By building schools in these less fortunate rural areas and through fundamental changes to the education system, I'll unlock the potential of all of our children. Boys and girls alike. I think, like, saying that, like, we are going to improve education, we would deliver on this. This brings hope to the table, which needs to be followed by action. There is much to be done. But if we're given the budget, we can implement policies that push education to the next level. Look, I actually don't think this is incompatible with the idea of some privatization. Because what I don't have, as you can see, I don't have huge amounts of money in the government budget. But maybe we can improve, like, what we need to do. If we do some privatization of education, that means that we have less, we can actually divert more of the government funding to the rural areas. And then, you know, taxing some of those privatized schools, we might be able to refunnel that money into the public school system. I don't know. It could be a lofty goal at the moment, but... Yeah, here we go. Oh my god! Oh my god, how did I like, literally foresaw it. Me and Pascal, we are. Best I can do is one sword bug. Like, literally me and Pascal on the same wavelength before I even clicked. Wouldn't a promotion of private education help create additional funds? There we go. Yes, but at what cost? I'm not a supporter of the private sector of education. At the end of the day, they're focused on profit first. What are you working towards, Pascal? I personally want to improve the low quality of healthcare in rural areas. So I created draft plans to increase the salary of doctors and to upgrade the equipment of the hospitals. I can do more with an increased budget. Additionally, a privatization plan to promote private investments in the healthcare system could allocate extra funds. So a little bit of... He's also okay for a little bit of... privatization means the cost burden falls on the individuals, which prices the population out of the means of earning wealth. Very bad plan long term. Yes, but I don't. I feel like again, it's a tightrope, isn't it, to walk? Like we've got to. Do we? Is the increase of funds like? Is that actually going to be able to? If we, would we be able to use that to promote public systems? Like, are we able to balance it? So even though I'm not saying that every school needs to be private. I'm saying that we still need publicly funded education, but allowing wealthy people to send their children to private schools might allow us to improve the quality of education for those who can only send their children to public schools. Higher the average earnings of the population, the more money you'll have. And I guess like if you increasing skilled people, like increasing wages by developing a skilled economy might be it. Yeah, choosing between healthcare and education. This is actually tough. Like, I want to be able to fund everything, you know. Isn't access to healthcare in rural areas an issue? Access is an issue, but not as critical as improving the quality in these areas. The lack of experienced personnel and equipment causes poor treatment, resulting in many deaths. Oh, I see. I do hope to create competition and increase the quality of healthcare with the privatization effort. But you must realize that privatizing our healthcare system would increase the price of treatment and make access worse for the average citizen. Okay, so there's Kira, like, with the discussion we just had as well, there's Kira fronting that side as well. That, you know, access... I mean, like, you can have a system that has both. Like, you can have both a public healthcare service and then a private healthcare service. Yeah, I think you kind of need both for a good system. Like, that's why I'm happy to do a little bit of privatization. Besides, it wouldn't fit into the planned economy President Rain has decided to promote. My expectation from our government is that we understand and focus on the needs of the people. Well, yeah, this is the democracy answer. We're elected representatives of our people. We'll prioritize their needs. Your job is literally just to bring their needs to me and for me to figure out how we best allocate the budget to prioritize their needs. I don't want to sound cynical, but almost all governments keep making the same promises. We must show that we are different through our actions. Did we cover all the necessary subjects? One more thing. I wish to raise my concerns about your scheduled meeting with the Gasson chairman and former president, Mr. Alfonso. By negotiating with Alfonso and his company, you have an opportunity to secure better labour conditions for blue-collar Gasson employees. This could be a triumph for all of Narbel. What is there to negotiate, Pascal? The standards for Gasson workers are already at rock bottom. President Rain can and must demand better. Nevertheless, it's worth acknowledging the corporation's significant contribution to job creation in Narbel and other poverty-stricken regions. Persuading the chairman to make concessions might prove to be a formidable task. My full mystery oriented live in improving the economy, upward mobility when out for the suit. What good is job creation if the workers are treated poorly? Of course, not a man meant for Alfonso. I know how slippery he can be, bringing us would be a challenge. I think maybe this one. If we do this right, we can find a solution that advances both the economy and the interests of labourers. That would be quite the impressive feat. You'd make headlines for it. The matter is close to my heart. I'll be personally grateful if you resolve the concerns raised by Katarina Horton, Labour leader, spokesperson for the Labour Union, okay, and her fellow Labour representatives. It would be difficult to imagine a CEO like Alfonso giving benefits to workers without him personally gaining from it. I think relies on us just as we rely on them. We can find a path to compromise. The middle way often sways perilously close to the status quo. We must ensure that any negotiations genuinely benefit the people, and not just uphold the interests of corporate giants. Thank you for your input, Kira. I will stress to President Rain how important it is that the door to the dialogue remains open. Ideology should never get in the way of bringing about tangible, lasting change. I'm encouraged by the willingness of Mr. Manger and Mr. Alfonso to meet with me as a step forward. Yeah, they could just do whatever they want without actually meeting with me and just keeping the status quo, so... We shall keep you no longer. Thank you both for the discussions. I do hope we won't repeat the same mistakes again and again. Have a good day, Mr. President. The ministers left and I prepared to leave for the other business in the city. The Gasson meeting was just one of the many events I was scheduled to attend over the next few days. As I made my way out, the weather was noticeably cold, but it didn't keep a group of USP supporters from coming out to cheer us on the streets. By looking at the citizens' attire, it was easy to understand the current state of Narbel. Some people wearing clothes a few sizes too large, some kids did not even have shoes, yet there was hope in their eyes. They were excited to see their president in the city. We're doing it for them! Look, Narbel, we're doing it for them. So let's read these reports. In Narbel, the Communist Party of Swordland and the Labour Union of Swordland have organised a strike against Gasson. Prominent figures Katarina Horton and Dennis Staler have confirmed their participation. Impact of the strike on Gasson's operation, the wider political climate in Narbel remains to be seen. Blue-collar workers at Gasson and Narbel have initiated a labour strike. This industrial action follows disagreements over wages, working conditions and workers' rights. Okay, we're going to need to, we can't just say screw them, no workers' rights for anyone, because this is just the strike action is actually it's a big bee in the bonnet, isn't it? The duration of the strike and potential impact on Narbel's local economy are currently uncertain. Negotiations with Gasson management and striking workers are reportedly ongoing. CSP leaders discuss Helmyland at Helm Summit. At a pivotal meeting in Helm, CSP leaders gathered to address the intricate and historically charged issue of Helgeland's sovereignty. The discussions revisited the Agnolian annexation of the island during Valgsland's revolution in the 1920s, emphasizing the alliance's commitment to addressing historical missteps and securing a future that respects the rights and aspirations of the island's inhabitants. Summit also highlighted the CSP's strategic ability to navigate an increasingly complex geopolitical environment shaped by the growing influence of the ATO. Leaders stressed the critical importance of dialogue and cooperation to prevent further escalation in the delicate situation surrounding Helmyland. Additionally, the CSP confirmed that contingency plans are in place, ensuring that Valgsland, as a key member of the alliance, would receive full support should the circumstances require it. The meeting concluded with a collective affirmation of the CSP's determination to uphold peace and stability. Leaders emphasized their intention to approach the Helmyland issue with a diplomatic but firm stance, addressing its historical complexities while applying necessary pressure to achieve a resolution that aligns with the alliance's principles. Young swords member found decapitated. The Estord Police Department has found a decapitated body in an abandoned house where the victim was later identified as Kurg Linky, a high school teacher and member of the local... Oh man, another teacher down! Well, how will this solve our education crisis? And a member of the local Young Swords Cultural Centre. The victim was discovered to be tortured with hot iron rods before his tongue was cut off. Police suspect the Red Youth are responsible for the incident. The incident has not been made public. Oh my god, they'll be rioting the streets. Yeah, this is not great. Can the Young Swords and the Red Youth just both stop being so bloody extreme? Repeal of the Energy Protection Act of 1932 fails. The proposed repeal of the Energy Protection Act of 1932 was put to a vote in the Assembly yesterday, resulting in its defeat, despite strong advocacy from the reform factions of PFJP and beyond, including within the USP under Albin Clavin. The majority of the Assembly, led by the USP and NFP, voted against the repeal 179 to 71. Consequently, the Energy Protection Act of 1932 remains in force, maintaining the status quo of foreign ownership restrictions of energy companies in Swordland. This result concludes the current attempt to modify the foreign ownership regulations, but does not preclude further legislative efforts or any initiative by the executive. Kasaru Kibana, leader of the NFP, has announced today that the NFP is completely, which is the National Front Party, ultra-conservatives, completely against any threshold reform. He specifically emphasizes to lead to unwanted elements entering the assembly and is outright against any changes to the 10% threshold. Workers' Rights Bill, nears completion, proposed by Albin Clavin and supported by Minister of Health Pascal Benawal, being prepared for the first draft review. Voices from the Labour Union showed strong signs of support. A session dedicated to the bill in the Assembly proved contentious. The people that form the backbone of the Swedish economy will finally be fully protected by extensive laws, Katarina Horton said, receiving both cheers and boos. Arcasia builds a military base in Lesbia. President Walker visited Lesbia last week to engage in talks with Prime Minister Alvarez concerning the establishment of Arcasian military bases within Lesbia. Following the conclusion of the discussions, an agreement was reached between the two leaders regarding a significant military defence investment in Lesbia. As part of the agreement, a large military base will be constructed on Ravnos Island. The base will be equipped with Arcasian radar and anti-air systems for enhanced security. Additionally, Arcasia plans to deploy a dozen M3 ballistic missiles. The base is expected to accommodate approximately 200 strategic bombers and jet fighters, along with an estimated 20,000 Arcasian soldiers. Moorbell mine disaster. A coal mine has collapsed in Moorbell. Emergency response teams were dispatched immediately. Due to the sheer size of the disaster, additional manpower and supplies were requested from nearby cities. Initial investigation shows that an underground fire has started due to the neglect in working situations by the Ndam mining group. Current death toll is at 82 and counting. Alright. That's all the news that was fit to print. Well, this one is the news that's fit to print. Preserving national sovereignty, the EPA stands for now. Our Grand National Assembly has demonstrated resounding commitment to Swordland's economic independence. The proposed repeal of the Energy Protection Act of 1932, a cornerstone of our national autonomy, was effectively defeated. The stalwart defence of our sovereignty by Gloria Tori and Kasaru Kibana is commendable. Alright, so the next thing on our plate is to do the Manger and Alfonso Gasson briefing. I'm going to take a couple of minutes. I'm just going to be right back. Couple of reasons. I need more water. I need to expel some water. And I'm also a little bit snacky, so I kind of want to get myself some, like, I don't know, crackers or something to nibble on. But I think I'll probably only go for another, like, 30 minutes to an hour max, so it won't be too long. I think an hour, another hour max, but maybe we can at least do this meeting and finish out the day, or do a little bit more. Depends on how long this one goes. All right, so this is your chance to also have a little bit of break as well. So let me put this up. All right, I'll be back in a sec. I'm alive. Hello, hello. Hello. Yes, I had some. I've washed my hands. What is all this? Okay, wait. Let me go back. How many did you bloody send? Oh my goodness! How many did you have to send? Horrible villagers. And I ate some little snacks. Just a couple of like. I had some jats. I have a couple of jats. Had a couple of jats biscuits and like these little. Oh god, they were like strawberry coconut dried fruit bite things. Had a couple of those just to tide me over. I'll have an actual lunch. I promise I'm not just like girl lunching my way through stream. I promise I will have an actual lunch at some point. But Jats, J-A-T-Z. You can look them up. They're basically just crackers. So yeah, a couple of like I had about like 3 jats and like 2 little pieces of dried strawberry coconut thing. Yeah, a bit like Australian Ritz. I'm girl lunching, but I promise I will actually eat a proper lunch after this. I just needed something to tide me through the stream. Anyway, and then I also got some water, which I just had a sip of then. All right. So I'm just going to quickly thank everyone who decided to send a blue super chat for absolutely no reason. Absolute Link, Michael, 100880, Mr. Plow, Zerodio, Hasagi, M9, VC Dole, Ice Cream, David Porchnov, Lou Bear Admirer, Ravax, Old AJ, Gobliano, Chicken Knight, Space Crypto Leninism, Thunder Boy, Bim Jobs, Rat Knight, Insect Devil, Sukidon, and Chicken Knight. Oh, what? I've already said Chicken Knight before, sorry. Sukidon, and yes, wash hands check. They are washed, I promise. Now let's get back to it. Now that I've had my little water and snack break. Yeah, I had a girl lunch, but I'll make up with it with woman dinner. After a series of intense meetings with Kira and Pascal, I decided to take some much-needed time to recharge. I checked in with Lucian and Peter back at the capital. They were working hard to unite democratically leading reformers for the crucial task of drafting a new constitution. Meanwhile, Gus Manger has invited me to visit the Gassom headquarters in Narbel. It was situated in Ornabel, a neighbourhood on the city outskirts. Next to it was the Damanoy Gas Reserve, a prominent natural gas source consisting of 4 large fields. As our motorcade made its way through the Ornabel district, I noticed the neighbourhood's state of disrepair. The roads were bumpy and marked by potholes, while the buildings surrounding us appeared run down and dilapidated. The community had apparently endured a prolonged period of neglect. We came to a halt at the entrance gates of the facility. A sizable mural depicting the Gassom logo had been painted on a nearby wall. Adjacent to the mural, a group of individuals wearing blue work vests had assembled, holding what looked like protest signs. Sergei skillfully parked the car, bringing our journey to a smooth and elegant conclusion. Gus greeted us warmly as we stepped out of the vehicle. Good day, President Rain. Welcome to Gassom Narbel's operations. I trust Ministers Walder and Benewald in overwhelming with their demands. Let's start, like, because when I say what we can do to help the development here, I'm not only talking about helping the development, Poor shame him. I'm also thinking about helping the people. So. Perfect. That's exactly what I hope to accomplish during today's discussions. My job is to improve the conditions of places like these. Mr. President, I've been brainstorming a little something. The Groony Rural Investment Plan. I reckon it's got the potential to breathe new life into our rural communities out in Groony. We could consider a few things. For starters, we could give the farming business a boost with some subsidies. Or we can steer towards modernising existing farms with machinery and tech. Or here's another thought. We could pour resources into developing crop breeds tailor-made for Groony conditions. If it works out, we could roll this out across Swordland. He kept talking as he guided me into the Gasson building. Mr. President, I get the appeal of that green bill that's been making the rounds in the Assembly. But I'm telling you, if we put the brakes on that and funnel those funds into the Groony plan instead, we can make some real strides about spooking any potential investors. Groony Groos. It's a tough call, Gus. I need to weigh the environmental implications, the economic benefits. That's all I'm asking for, Mr. President. Just give this plan a fair shake. Our talk was interrupted by a noise coming from outside the building. We looked out the nearest window. A sleek helicopter was cutting through the sky, sunlight glinting off its polished surface as it descended towards us. On it was our next appointment, old Alfonso. Is that a helicopter or just his ego with rotor blades? Alfonso sure knows how to make an entrance. An extravagant show of wealth, isn't it? Hardly seems necessary. That kind of display pays well to investors, but terribly to farmers watching on state TV. That's a bit too harsh. I think one is so harsh, though, is ego with rotor blades. It's funny, though. It's absolutely funny. But I think maybe, like, 4. Because it's like, I see why he's doing it, but, think about the people who are watching this, like, blatant display of wealth and thinking, what about us common people? It's very funny. You are right. Exactly, the optics matter. We just have to decide who we're trying to impress. Spectacle aside, before we sit down with him, there's one more assembly matter I wanted to raise. This workers' rights bill. Look, I'm all for giving hard-working folks what they deserve, but isn't it a bit hasty to push this while we're still stuck in a recession? The way I see it, short-term wins might end up costing us big time in the long run. Yeah, said he's got rights on paper but nothing in his fridge. Oof. I think saying that we like 1, 3, and 4 are all like 2. I think is it like no, it's not time for that. Like, 1, 3, and 4 are all kind of like the situation. You know, we got to put people before profits. He's got a fridge real bougie. Gus, I get what you're saying, but isn't it high time we put people before profits? I see where you're coming from, Mr. President, but a prosperous company helps everyone, the workers included. If we're all sinking, nobody's winning. Yeah, like, again, like, people don't care about long-term strategy when their kids are hungry now. We fix this for them or we lose them. Like, if their kids, if we're not paying our workers enough, if people are, you know, unsafe at work, we risk losing workers and families of workers to crime and to other unrest when they inevitably turn to it to feed their families or to make a living or to escape their situation, you know? Yeah, I think, like, and a secure worker is a productive one. I think I'm going to go with this one. Fair enough, but let's roll it out in stages. Rushing it could backfire. Please come this way. Ewald and I have some exciting new news to share with you. I have faith that you won't leave us hanging. Yeah, crime or worse, they'll join the Young Swords or Red Youth. Both are not great. I think maybe just talking about Alfonso. I think he's fully focused on Gassom these days. His entire reputation is bound to this corporation now. Admittedly, I'm biased, but I do think Gassom is extraordinary. I feel like both of these are really, like, snipey. Like I want to give... Like, they're both kind of just, like, sniping at... Like, Alfonso is no longer the president. Like, we got him out. We are now the ones who are in charge. Like, I think just saying, yeah, there's not enough choices, but I'm not on his side, but I don't think I have any ill will. Like, I just want to... I don't want to be, like, snippy or like, you know, throw dirt on him or anything. I just want... I want to see if he's able to work with me. So... Why should you? As you know, he and I go back a long time. He isn't the sellout some solace painted him to be. Shall we? He pushed open a door. We walked down yet another hallway, seemingly in the direction we'd just come from. Like a maze, isn't it? That's Canali architecture for you. Where's Canali? The hallways were lined of doors. A glass panel in them revealed workers in suits and ties, many of foreign origin, busy in their pristine offices. A stark contrast to the blue-collar workers outside, working with machinery, transportation and maintenance. I'm actually just going to ask, like, why do we have workers from abroad? Are we not using our swords? The best talent in Swordland was snatched by the SSC in the 1930s, our Swordfish State Corporation. Most other corporations couldn't contend, so they had to look elsewhere. Ah, here's the elevator. The world ought to be up there already. There's a separate entrance by the helipad. We stepped into the elevator. Gus punched a code and we began our ascent. Let's do this. The doors opened. Here we are, Ewald, my friend. Ewald Alfonso stood up from his chair. Oh god, I meant to click that. There he is. He had a perfectly tailored suit that he wore as casually as pajamas. Gus, you old devil. It takes one to know one. As promised, I brought out guest of honor. President Rain, I hope you enjoyed seeing our facilities here. Let's do the pleasantries, and then we'll start cutting. But then I'm not going to come off immediately aggressive. Let's start with the pleasantries. It's nice to see what you've built from the inside. It's fine. Nothing compared to the Gassom HQ in Wholesword, of course. Still one of the standouts of the Marine District. Please, have a seat. Let's talk. Good evening, Fair Knight. Good evening. Hello. We are Suzeraining today, which is a political visual novel-esque map game thing. We sat down. Some snacks and drinks were served. Multiple Gasson yearly financial reports were scattered on the table between us. President Rain, I'm here because we have a great opportunity on our hands. A business arrangement that will benefit Gasson and Swordland alike. I also happen to believe that current and former presidents of Swordland should stick together and share our experiences. Not everyone has been in our shoes, you know. This is indeed a business arrangement, Wald. Let's focus on that. Of course, President Rain. Business, above all, should drive this discussion. Exactly, gentlemen. Let's get to brass tacks, huh? As we discuss the future of Swordland, it's paramount that I comprehend your vision. The trajectory you set for this country will inevitably impact not just Gasson, but also Swordland's position on the global stage. I confess I've been following the news from the Maroon Palace closely since leaving office. Your decision to deviate from a market economy is, let's say, not what I would have chosen. And I'm puzzled that your administration has so far ignored the wealth of opportunities provided by the West. Meanwhile, I have not heard any indication of your leanings regarding the Kingdom of Rizia's interest in investing in Gasson. I've yet to receive a comprehensive briefing on the matter. I prefer to maintain a careful approach and not make premature commitments. I respect your prudence, but let us not forget that fortune often favours the bold. You drove our economy into the bloody gutter, Ewald. Stop acting like you're better than me. Your concerns, Mr. President, remind me of a time where I was working with OMEC. We were bringing in foreign investments to revitalise the local companies. There were protests, people who were scared of change, who thought we were selling out. But we weathered the backlash, stood by our decisions. Wait, he wants to turn into an Arcadian puppet state, right? It's like, I think you're a little bit too quick to pander to foreign investments, Alfonso. Do you not believe in Swordland? Years later, those same people saw the benefits, the jobs we created, the growth we spurred. Change is always met with resistance, but in the end, it's the results that matter. Change may be met with resistance, Gus, but it's our job to ensure that the people are with us on this journey. We can't disregard their concerns. Exactly, I'm going back to, when in doubt, on the democracy run, when in doubt, defer to the people. Yeah, cool story, bro, but we're not talking about a company here, we're talking about an entire nation. It's a bigger picture than your little company, man. I completely agree, Mr. President. The people are our greatest asset, so let's not exploit them and give them fair wages and paid overtime and an actual safe working environment. But remember, sometimes people don't know what's best for them until they see it. That's why we're here to help them see a better future. So, Gus, do you really believe that you see a better future than everyone else? Like, do you honestly believe in yourself so much that you have the entire vision? As Gus finished his point, we heard the faint wailing of sirens in the distance. He waited for the noise to fade before continuing. Back to the topic at hand. It seems we're at a crossroads of Gasson. The numbers tell a tale of struggle and potential. No need to sugarcoat it, Gus. Our corporation is teetering on the edge of a cliff. Without significant restructuring, the firm risks plunging into insurmountable debt. My old friend Ewald reached out to me for assistance. Out of respect for our shared history and my small stake in the company, I couldn't refuse. I've always believed in the power of networking. I'm sure you've heard of Rusty Montoro, chairman and CEO of Rizian Royal Gold. Rusty and I go way back, and he's done quite well for himself. Back under Alfonso's government, I was able to broker a deal with King Romus Taurus thanks to my connection with Rusty. It was a win for all involved. Yeah, the Rumburgians, like, look, Rizzy, it's because, yeah, I'm actually, there is some, I think we can probably play the Rizzy angle, with some caution, but also with some openness. Yeah, I think for, like, 4 or 3, I'm thinking going. I could go for a Rumburger. Because, like, I want to try... I need to thread the needle, don't I? Like, if I don't mind a little bit of selling out if it lets the people get what they want. Like, we need to have both. Yeah, can you make the town not a dump with all the money you make? One hand washes the other. Thanks to Gus's Rizian connections, investors from the kingdom are now interested in Gasom, a development that could steer us clear of the looming crisis. We've got an amazing opportunity here. The demand for gas is steadily increasing from both international partners and the Swordfish state. All we have to do is ensure a consistent supply. The trouble right now is that some of our fields are operating only at half the capacity due to resource limitations. We have significant potential for expansion, including 2 new fields that haven't even been tapped. The right amount of investment, we can expand resource extraction, effectively fulfilling rising demand and ensure long-term stability and profitability. But that requires us to be willing to take risks and weather the storm. Now that's a legacy we're striving for, wouldn't you agree? Like... yeah, is he asking for a handout? Like, hey, Mr. Big Money, why don't you... like, you can afford to fly around in a helicopter, then maybe why don't you put some of that into your own company? Like, let's ask, will the investment help keep Gasom from having to downsize its operations? That's the question of the hour, Mr. President. It won't be easy, but with the right moves, we might be able to navigate the storm without losing our crew. We have developed a strategic plan that focuses on diversifying revenue streams and exploring new markets. The sound of sirens briefly distracted us. Through the window, we saw police cars driving down the street adjacent to the Gasom zone. We redirected our attention to the meeting. Ewald looked at me. I appreciate your visit today, and despite our differences, your willingness to meet with me is noted. Throughout my journey, I've held faith in collaborating with individuals who genuinely share my vision. The presence of the right allies amplifies our potential. Your attitude and choices as president has prompted me to reflect on the significant gap that exists between us. Regrettably, this divide could pose challenges to the feasibility of any prospective business collaboration. Yeah, I'm not here for your approval. I don't want to be mean, but, like, I understand, Mr. Alfonso. It's important that we each stay true to our principles. Like, look, I might not like him, I might not agree with him, but I think he should know that I want to be a man of my word. I want to be a man who believes in democracy. Do you think I should still... we gotta work together. I'm still gonna say this one, I think. Let's see. Indeed, Mr. President, our principles are what guides us. If they don't point us in the same direction, then it's best we part ways here. I wish you all the best in your endeavours for Swordland. Oh, wait, gentlemen, let's not let a single disagreement define our relationship. There's a bigger picture here. I understand that tensions are high right now, and I have faith that we can find a solution that benefits everyone. However, for that to happen, I need to know. Mr. President, do you trust my judgment? Okay, Gus, I don't necessarily think that Gus is evil. I think he's a little bit more corporation-minded, but I think he actually does want something, he does want good for Swordland. Yeah, I think Gus actually does care, so I'm gonna trust him. He's a bit biased, but yes, I just want to hear him out and maybe keep this conversation going a little bit. Thank you, Mr. President. I propose a compromise. If you promise not to tighten the current restrictions of the Energy Protection Act, we can consider our stance and keep the deal on the table. Mr. President, I'm giving you a chance to prove your commitment to the people of Swordland and to our shared future. I hope you'll consider our offer carefully. This could be the potential of a fruitful partnership or the end of a potential alliance. As a further gesture of goodwill, would you consider making a personal donation to the Alfonso Foundation? Is he literally begging me to donate to his personal foundation? It's a cause close to my heart, focusing on providing shelter for the homeless in Swordland. Oh my god, do I actually have to do this? Deal or no deal? I have the wealth to do it. Are you saying I don't want to help the homeless, right? What's the Alfonso Foundation? Do you think Anton Rain would? Do you think the democratic Anton Rain? I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to like cut this off already or see it through. Right? It's like, it feels like a charity. Make him look good, exactly. And I need to donate some of my own personal wealth to it. Goodness. Let's have a look at the Energy Protection Act. Narbel is a dump. Yeah, look, I think reading this, it says the Energy Protection Act, it underwent an amendment, increasing the limit to 20%. And so it's still, like, while it reflected a shift in policy priorities, it maintained the core objective by protecting Swordland's energy sector from undue foreign influence. Now, they're actually just asking, like, all they're asking for is that the EPA restrictions remain as they are. Like, we don't tighten it again. And so, like, they're not asking that we increase it to 30 or 40 or 50%. They're just hoping that it's... yeah, it's really... I feel like I kind of have to. Like, I feel like I don't... Yeah, they don't want... They actually... Like, they're just asking it to stay the same as it currently is. But why do I have to pay them personal money? Like, why can't there be a third option, which is like, okay, the EPA restrictions will remain as they are, but don't take my money to pay for your damn charity. I mean, I don't want... Like, look, it actually looks like the Alfonso Foundation is a legitimate charity. At least from the codex, like... Yeah, the goodwill. It actually, it hurts me. It hurts me to do it, but... Look, I'm just gonna hope that I make the money back up and I don't lose the money somehow. I should have taken more bribes. Look, I'm really hoping this is a scratch. You see this as a sinking ship? Alfonso resents you for taking his job. Like, is this actually goodwill or is it not? Oh my goodness. I don't know. The lawfully good bribes. I think I can. It's not like a bribe. Like he's just. I don't know why I have to be able. Like the only thing that I don't like is having to. Like the only thing I don't like is having to give him one personal wealth. Like it's Look, like it or not, I think I have to do the deal, because if I don't, if I staunchly be like, we have to help workers' rights, like Gassom's is its own corporation. If they don't want to, like Gassom, like I've got to play ball with Alfonso and Gus, otherwise they're not going to actually help. Like when I then ask, oh, but can you like make conditions a bit better for Gassom employees, please? They'll be like, go get effed. So I think I've just got to do it. And if I want to make the compromise work, I have to be willing to play ball. And this is really unfortunate because I don't have the wealth, but here we go. Amazing. I knew you two could make it work. They need to owe me for this, yes. Excellent, Mr. President. Your support for the homeless cause is commendable. Together, we'll ensure a promising future for Gassom. If the Swedish government chooses to invest, it would gain a voice in the broader company decisions, even as a minority stakeholder. The government could either liquidate its shares at a future date or continue to reap the long-term profits. A beneficial arrangement for all parties. Yeah, please hold their end of the bargain, please. I'm gonna hope that I'm gonna hope this pays off later. Like, I don't think immediately it's a little bit of a hit to the pocket, but I'm just gonna hope this pays off. After a moment, he turned up. Awald walked back over to the window. He stood there, silhouetted against the vast expanse of the gas fields. After a moment, he turned back to face us. His gaze was steady, the expectation clear in his eyes. The time had come to make a decision. Well, Mr. President, will Gassom and Swordland make history or not? I've only got, like, the one movement budget. Should I co-invest? Or do we need to provide the funds? We'd go into debt. I think we're gonna have to just go with Rizia. Or do you think I should go into debt for it? Invest alone? I am trying to go for planned economy, so shouldn't I try and... Even if it does cause a bit of... It's not that risky of investment. One gives you more leverage. Yeah. Actually, if I... Because, yeah, could I maintain control of the company's direction? If it gets messed up, couldn't I then steer the ship? If I have most of the... I could be debt maxing. Yeah, 2 versus 1 at the end of the day. I think... I think because I'm doing planned strategy, I should do... Even if it's going to throw me into debt, I think we need to put the budget. Wait, this is for the Swordish people. I can make a real change, maybe. Oh my god, yeah. Maybe we could turn it into a state corporation as well later. We'll do a little bit of debt maxing. Let's do it. Decision as a commitment to Swordland's energy independence. We won't let you down. It's a bold move, Mr. President, but I reckon it's the right one. Gassom's success will be Swordland's success. Because, like, yeah, if short term will be at minimum 2, but this might make double or more, right? The worried workers will have no fears about job security thanks to the state. And that, yeah, this actually works better for the workers now that they know that the government stepped in to, like, protect their interests. I'm at the edge of the seat here with these choices. Me too. I'm like, oh god, everything makes me worry, like, am I doing the right thing? Before we dive into the celebrations, I've allocated time during this meeting for President Rain to discuss any concerns regarding Gassom's treatment of its workers and its effects on Narbel. The Labour Union, along with the Communist Party of Swordland, has rallied substantial support from Gasson workers in Narbel, advocating for improved local conditions. Alfonso nodded and looked at me. Okay, I need to, like, yeah. Our duty is to listen and take action. That's the mandate granted us by the public. While sometimes people may not recognize what's in their best interest, do you have a proposal in mind, Mr. President? I mean, all three are good, but which one? Like a proposal. Do they need better housing, access to healthcare and opportunities for education, wages to be increased, the backbone of your operations? Yeah, do you think it's the... Like, one, I feel like one's probably too much. Yeah, maybe two. Like, wages of the workers? But, like, one is a lot. Like, one is a lot to do. Hmm. Okay. Do you... More money in the workers' pockets? Didn't you buy their goodwill? Two's the simplest. Money in the workers' pockets, or should I just like, or should I just go whole hog? Like, number one is probably like, should I go whole hog? Two is straightforward, but like, what? Well, I think one is like a long-term result. Maybe wages. Oh, I don't know. Two is straightforward. Human fun money for people. I want it all, and I want it now. But I've already, like, I've invested, like, I'm investing a lot into it. Because, like, maybe if I'm the one who's investing all of this, then shouldn't that my money be going straight to the workers, right? Can I afford long-term planning right now? My job is to sell the gas. Two gets me an electro base. Oh, I don't really know what to do, like what to ask for. I don't really know what to ask for. This is tough. Okay, wait. I have a question for you. Question for you guys. Would you, if you're a Gasson worker, would you rather one or two? We're cutting three out. 1 is long. If I'm really poor, 1 would do more for me. 1 easy. 2, I love money. 2 means nothing without 1. Yeah, I think like maybe it can make a company town and like give it the development. Oh, let's give that a try. I'm just give it a try. President Rain, I appreciate your concerns about Narbel. Rest assured, we are constantly evaluating our impact on the community, looking for ways to improve. We're not blind to the socioeconomic conditions here. We're deeply invested to this community and are committed to doing our part. Gentlemen, it's clear that we all share the goal of improving the situation in Narbel. Let's continue working together to make that happen. Oh, I will say, we expect to see tangible improvements in this city. Well, Mr. President, we're committed to... Suddenly the meeting was interrupted. The quiet murmur of a conversation from outside the room grew louder, followed by the sounds of hurried footsteps. A member of the private security team entered the room, his face taut with urgency. He approached Alfonso and leaned to whisper something in his ear. Ewald nodded solemnly, his gaze meeting mine with a serious intensity. Gentlemen, it seems we have an unexpected situation outside. Some protesters from the Labour Union have blocked the main vehicular exits. Katarina Horton and Dennis Taylor seem to be leading the group. It would be difficult to leave the way we came without causing trouble. Well, that's a pickle. What's our move, Ewald? I have a helicopter ready. We can leave undetected and avoid the chaos and potential danger. I'm going to face them. I think we should face the crowd head on. That's your prerogative, Mr. President. Following the violent events of late, I heavily recommend against facing any crowd. Mr. President, I advise you to leave out via helicopter just in case. I can stay back and update the crowd on the discussions today. Serge Volkner rushed in. Mr. President, I have discussed the situation with the Presidential Guard and the police security. They're advising us not to go out the way we came in. More police are on the way. You must make a decision, Mr. President. Oh my god. Everyone waited. The tense silence of the room stood in stark contrast to the buzz of the ever-growing crowd outside. What? Large state investment in Gassom. Decide how to leave? Oh my god! In Sergey we trust. Sergey! Sergey! Oh god! Oh my gosh, alright. Alright. Time to make a choice, my moment. Like, I want to face the crowd, though. I think, look, I've tried to negotiate the benefits for them. I will do that. I'm gonna address the protesters. Let's do it. Let's see. Am I gonna get killed? Did I leave? Oh my god. Let's look at the news. Resounding vote for Gassum's future. Large-scale investment, strong vote of confidence. Very good. Lackhaven presidential generosity. Mixed response with the Sordan's government's robust investment. Bold stroke at a revitalization. Strategic leap. Okay, people are like quite happy about charity or camouflage. Okay, come on. I had to do it. I had to do it. Pricey misstep, large-scale ignited wave of criticism. I don't think so. It's going to create jobs and growth. We're going to be fine. I can never get the radical to like me. All right, here we go. We die tonight! All right. Losing an eye or an arm off out of my people is metal. Yeah, I can't wait to have an eye patch. As we stepped out towards the towering front gate of the Gassom facility, I immediately became aware of how tense the situation was. Gus Major stood by my right, his silhouette barely distinguishable from the monolithic edifice behind us. Sergei stood to my left, his eyes scanning the crowd with the precision of a hawk. The Gassom security had drawn their weapons in anticipation, forming a bristling wall around the perimeter. My presidential guard, in stark contrast, stood tall and unflinching at the entrance, shielding us from the sea of angry workers surrounding us. The shouts of the crowd were deafening, the hostility palpable. Starla and Horton stood at the forefront with fire in their eyes. With a deep breath, I prepared to address them. Gus extended a megaphone towards me. Oh my god. Okay, God, what do I say? These are all good. Okay, so today my team and I are here to listen and engage. We're here to ensure Gasson becomes a beacon of growth, fairness, and prosperity to its workers. My fellow swords, our presence here today is not a guarantee of instant change, but rather an effort to better understand the complexity of the issues at hand. Good people of Narbel, we are here not to placate you with false promises, but to honestly assess the reality and work towards practical solutions. Before any of you do anything too rash, I want you to take a good look around you. Yeah, I think, like, addressing the people of Narbel. Let's do that. Let's turn this impasse into an opportunity, a chance for real impactful change. We are here to make that happen. We recognize that words are not enough, and only through concrete action we can begin to address the challenges you face. Today's visit, let's be clear, does not mean all your problems will disappear overnight. It's an initial step to gauge the scope of your issues. I think, like, 1 or 2 for here. Like, yeah, I think, like, they want honesty. They're angry. They want me to admit that there's fault here, I think. Empty words, Rain. You've shown us nothing concrete today. We're fed up with your hollow rhetoric. All talk and no action, isn't it, Mr. President? How long must the workers wait for real change? Now hold on a moment. President Rain is committed to bring about real change. His actions and decisions demonstrate this clearly, even if it doesn't fit your narrative. Is that so, Manger? All we've seen are decisions that favour the likes of you and Ewald Alfonso, not the common workers. It's not about narratives, Mr. Manger. It's about ensuring a fair, dignified life for the working class. Something your policies have consistently failed to do. Maybe this one? Like, Dennis, the focus here is on not on narratives or images, but on real, tangible... 4 is, you're an academic and a lawyer, Mr. Starla. What do you know about the struggles of the working class? I don't want to say that one, that's harsh. No! Academics and lawyers can know about the struggles of the working class. Thank you. Now, what's that again about the struggles of the villagers? Alright, yeah, anything but 4, I think. It's a process, but we are on the right track. Words, words, and more words, President Rain. What the workers need are actions, not promises. Exactly, Dennis. The working class of Swordland is still waiting for those actions. Your neglect of our nation's healthcare system will harm millions. Mr. President, we demand that you support the upcoming Workers' Rights Bill. The Labour force of Swordland will be watching your next move closely. Furthermore, we want reform. Reduce the election threshold and change the constitution to make a more democratic and fairer nation. Oh my god, this one's horrible. How dare you speak that way to your president? You ingrates have no idea how much I've sacrificed for this country. Yeah, I think I'm alive for now. They've just got a lot of demands. They're a bit angry, but they've got demands, okay? Yeah, I don't want to accidentally click. Sorry. Mog him. I am president. I think 3. Like, we have to acknowledge that there is some fault, but we also have to show them that we're working. Like, you know. Despite the sharp words exchanged, the crowd remained eerily calm. It seemed like they were waiting. The collective breath held in anticipation for something more. Suddenly, a reporter pushed through the crowd, brandishing a microphone towards me. The locals of Narbel had suffered under the impact of Gassam for years. What concrete steps is Gassam going to take for benefit of the local community? Number 4 is crazy! I think 3. Both of these are good, I think. We're in continuous dialogue with Gassom. I remain steadfast in my pursuit of better conditions for Nabel's workers. I think 2 is nicer, I like. Like, the journey may be challenging, but I remain dedicated. Our workers deserve better, and I won't rest until we achieve that. At least you're not hiding your lack of progress anymore. Mere determination won't solve the workers' problems. We need results. And until we get them, we will continue to fight. The cloud roared back into life. I could practically feel the raw anger emanating from them. My guards took a step forward. Time is a luxury we don't have, Mr. President. Each passing day is another day our workers suffer under the heel of inequality. The undercurrent of unrest swelled, threatening to surge into a full-blown tempest. The previous calm seemed like a distant memory, an illusion shattered by the harsh reality of discontent. Oh god, I have to talk about this. You'll be pleased that I've allocated a portion of my rather substantial salary to the Alfonso Foundation. It's the least I can do, considering my privileged position. What if I told you I decided to give a fraction of my salary to the Alfonso Foundation? Would that make you happy? It's got to be either one of these, I think. They all kind of suck, but yeah. 2 is I've made the decision to donate part of my income to the Alfonso Foundation. In a position of power, it's important to lead by example, isn't it? Together we can make a difference. Or 1, I would like to announce that I've personally donated a portion of my salary to the Alfonso Foundation. It's a small step, but one I believe can help those struggling with homelessness and income inequality. I think addressing the issues, I think, is good. A group of figures emerged from the crowd adorned in unmistakable scarlet attire. The Red Youth had arrived. I realised this was no longer a mere protest. It was a symbol of a broader, more potent struggle. The police began reorganising their ranks, adopting defensive postures. Could you shed some light on the possible deal between the Swordist government and Gassom? What role does the Kingdom of Rizia play in this arrangement? None! Oh, thank God I chose that. Maybe 3? I've got to... Yeah, Debt Max is winning. I think we'll probably have to do, like, 3, I think. Because we need to talk about the people and can reaffirm that we're directly doing things for the people. So the Government of Swordland has decided to solely invest in Gassom. We believe this will lead to a direct positive impact on the citizens of Swordland. A surprising but potentially promising decision, Mr. President. Let's hope your confidence isn't misplaced. Encouraging, President Rain. As long as your government's drive to recoup your investment doesn't take precedent over Gassom's struggling labour force. Nearby, a quick hushed conversation was being had with a Gassom security officer and a presidential guard. I followed their eyes to the protesters. Some had calmed down, others still seemed agitated. Sergei craned his neck, his face deep in concentration as he listened to their whispers. Sir, the crowd is no longer entirely hostile, but there's still an undercurrent of tension. It might be a good time to make our way to the convoy before any potential escalation. Do I stay a little longer? Do I stay a little longer? I kind of... What if I told them that, like... I still want, like, a chance to tell them... I think I'm on a roll. I think I'm going to push my luck. Mr. President, I'll stay on further to address the crowd. The mood is still tense, but I think I can manage. You should get on your way. I'm impressed you even came to speak to us, President Rain. Most wouldn't. However, this conversation isn't over yet. We'll hold you accountable to your promises. The troubles of the labourers continue, and our union is here to solve them. I turned to the crowd one last time. In their eyes I saw both flashes of anger and glimmers of hope. Their collective gaze bore into me, awaiting their words. Do I do the democracy? Like, I also like the words, as for the conversation, it's always been going on. Like, that acknowledges that I'm not blind to it. One's very regular. Two or three I'm thinking of. So indeed, accountability is the cornerstone of democracy. As your president, I understand that responsibility. Hold me accountable. And then three's also like, yeah, three's a bit like, I'm better than the others because most wouldn't come out, but look at me. I'm Anton Rain, person who comes out. Has more flair. I'm just gonna go with two. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Says Katerina, I look forward to our continuing conversations. Let us all remember what we're here for the same reason, to better the lives of our citizens. Let's not allow our differences to blind us to our common goals. The path to progress is challenging and fraught with disagreement, but we must not let that divide us. Yeah, I'm not gonna... Marat, that's a bit... I think 3, 4, maybe 5. 5 is just a bit like of a nothing like, let's do it for Swordland! For Swordland! They're probably like, screw Swordland, I need food on my table now. Yeah, this is pickleball. Let's do 4. The reporter jumped in. Can you clarify the current status of your personal relationship with... no more questions, please. Mr. President, if you could please proceed to the vehicle. Sergei opened the door of the car and I lowered myself into the seat. The door closed behind me with a thud, sealing off the external noise. As we started moving, some disgruntled protesters rushed towards us. I could hear shouts and jeers as their fists pounded against the glass windows. The guards sprang into action, pushing back the unruly crowd. It was a tense few moments before the convoy was able to navigate away from the tumult. I'm glad that we are safely on our way, Mr. President. Agreed, Sergei. A job well done by you and the team. We appreciate your acknowledgement, Mr. President. It's our duty and our honor. The echoing voices of the protesters gradually subsided as we retreated from the scene and left Narbel behind. Okay, we got out with our lives, and look, while we weren't able to solve anything, we didn't leave with the cheers of, you know, the world going like, woohoo, go Anton Rain, you're the best president ever. Like, I think it isn't completely unsalvageable yet. Like, it went all right. It could have gone better. But yeah, I don't think it was ever going to go great with the current, like, way that it was. I think we did the best we could. And fully investing, I think, was the best move. I might be debt maxing. But like, we might need to debt max, but that was actually the best possible opportunity. Yeah, it's unreasonable to expect everyone to be like, Anton, as I went out. That would have been a bit too much, I think. Anyway, all right. That's it for today, I think. So let's exit. I'm only at -1 debt. I could go further. I could debt max more. All right. One versus the world. Thank you for 6 months of Frost Guardianship. One day we need the a-hole playthrough, Captain. Is that when, like, I become... Oh, sorry, I'm over here. Scooch over here. Sorry, I was right in your face, chat. Yeah, I've got to do the playthrough where I'm just like the meanest version of Anton Rain. Like, just has no filter. The least filtered version of Anton Rain possible. And Devana, thank you so much for the tip over in Stream Elements. Hello, President-elect Mina. This is your villager of the interior. Figured I would let you know I added lead to Estelia's drinking water to make it sweeter. I don't think that there should be any problems because of that, right? Yeah, lead in water has historically always been a good thing. No, stop, villager. Stop. That's bad for the villagers. No. Anyway, thank you so much for coming along. Let me see if I can find someone else to send you towards. Suzerain. Let's send you to... Is Leah's stream still going? And is Pippa on Twitch? Let me have a look. Let me have a little look-see. Yeah, Pippa on Twitch and maybe Leah on YouTube? Mr. Plow, thank you for the tip. I'm going to need another Yalboro. That was intense. Thanks for the stream, Captain. Suzerain Sunday is still as magical as I remembered it being. And AJ, thank you so much for the super chat. In order if you're going to debt, I too am going into debt to buy phase merch, including your birthday merch. Disclaimer, I'm not actually going into debt. Oh, thank goodness. You're just using some of your personal wealth to make a donation to the Wilhelmina Frost Foundation. All right. That's it for today then. This has been your captain, Wilhelmina Frost of the Estelian Royal Guard, legendary knight of phaseconnect's newest generation phase saga. Thank you so much for coming along and enjoying Suzerain Sunday with me. Until I next see you again, no matter where you are in the world, I hope you have a good morning, a good afternoon, or perhaps even a good night. Oyasamina! Oyasamina! Bye everyone! Oyasamina!